What's up guys, John here, and today I'm going to show you guys 5 awesome shmups that are super cheap, super affordable, and that you're going to want to own. Guys, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel now. Let's check it out. Okay guys, so before I get started, I do want to let you know that all the games I'm going to show you today, they're all North American releases. There's no imports. Believe me, I love my imports, but not everyone does, and I want to showcase some games that are pretty cheap, very affordable actually, and they're all released, here in the United States. So, with that being said, number 5, we have Stinger for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And I looked at all the prices on the games before I even made the video, so you can find this one for right around $5 to $10.
So, unlike the original Twin B, which featured only vertically scrolling stages, Stinger adds side-scrolling stages as well. There are 7 stages in the game, and stages 1, 3, and 7 are side-scrolling, while the rest are vertical scrolling. The controls remain the same between the two styles of gameplay, with the only difference being that the side-scrolling segments, the A button shoots hearts over the ship instead of dropping bombs onto the ground like the vertical scrolling segments, which help the player keep the power-up bells afloat in the side-scrolling stages. There are 6 types of bells. Yellow bells give the player bonus points as usual. Blue increases the ship's speed. White upgrades the player's gun into a twin cannon. Pink gives the player a laser beam cannon. The flashing pink-white bell gives the player's ship mirror options for added firepower, and the flashing blue-white bell will surround the player's ship with a barrier for extra protection from enemy fire. Now, I do feel like this is a very fun, colorful game. If you're looking for shooters on the Nintendo Entertainment System, look no further, because this is a very cheap, affordable shoot-'em-up. It's colorful, fun, and some people call them cute-'em-ups. I just call them shmups or shoot-'em-ups. Shmups is about as far as I take it. That's like a newer word for me anyway.
Okay guys, so at number 4 we have Shooter Space Shot. And this copy's sealed, and yes, I did play the game. I think it's a very good shooter. There's a reason why this one's sealed. This game is so cheap. I bought this on eBay for $5. This game's so cheap and it's so plentiful, and you can find it everywhere. At least I can. And the guy sent me 2 copies of it brand new. So one I played and this one I left sealed. So yeah, Shooter Space Shot for the PlayStation 1.
So guys, if you like the real cheesy full motion video stuff from like the early Sega CD days, then you're going to like this game because there's a lot of cutscenes that have full motion video, terrible Japanese voice acting, and English subtitles. But with that being said, this game is an amazing shooter. And it's crazy because some shooters cost like hundreds of dollars and they're mediocre, and then there's like ones that are just as good or even better that are $5-10. It's crazy. So Shooter Space Shot, known in Japan as Simple 1500 Series 35 The Shooting, is a horizontally scrolling shoot-'em-up. Originally released in Japan as part of the Simple series in 2000, it was released in North America by A1 Games and H-Tag. And really, I really don't need to say any more about the game. If you've played a shooter, you know the controls. They're no different than any other shooter. It's just this one, I love the graphics, I love the music. It's one of those shooters that once you start playing, you want to try to get through the whole entire game. It's one of those, and it's not super long. So, I recommend it.
Okay, so at number 3 we have Super RType for the Super Nintendo System. I actually own the Japanese Super Nintendo or Super Famicom version of this game as well. It's funny, I know probably most of you guys know about this game, but it's one of my favorites, and it's an amazing shooter, and you can pick up a copy for right around $10.
Okay, so I'm letting you guys know right now, you don't need the real expensive RType 3 or the RType Delta in your collection to have awesome RType games, because I'm telling you guys, this is one of them. So this game really reminds me of the original RType for PC Engine that came out in the late 80s, only with a fresh coat of paint. So there are many other shooters out there that have kind of, copied, I don't want to say copied, have kind of used the format that RType used in their shooters. And one of the more notable, and one that's definitely one of my favorites, is Polestar for the Neo Geo CD. Super RType is a shooter for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was developed and published by IRIM in 1991 and is a partial port of RType 2, borrowing stages and enemies but introducing several of its own. The game has been re-released on the Wii Virtual Console in Japan, North America, and PAL regions in 2008. Super RType borrows 4 stages from RType 2 and adds 3 of its own. The game is known for its high difficulty, even compared to other games in the series, partially because of its lack of checkpoints, since dying means restarting the level from scratch. Also, the game suffers from slowdown, which was also a problem in many early games for the system. But unlike the others, Super R-Type slows down to a virtual standstill when there are many things on the screen. However, this proved useful for players when they were trying to move through obstacles because the slowdown does kind of make it a bit easier. So overall, to me, this is a very fun, colorful game. And it is a bit hard, so there are times when you're trying to get through a level where you're going to want to throw your controller through the TV. But don't do that, because if you play this long enough and learn the enemy patterns enough, you will be able to get through this game.
Okay guys, so at number 2 we have Sinemore EX for the PlayStation 4. Now I recently got this game and I actually got it from GameStop and it only cost me $11.99. It's a pretty good deal for what you get.
Now it's funny, when I found out about this game, I had just got done playing a game called Skyforce for the PlayStation 4 that doesn't share the same gameplay other than it being a shooter, but graphically it's very similar. But to sum this game up, Sinemore is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up that provides a unique challenge, where time is the ultimate factor. Mixing classic shooter sensibilities with contemporary presentation, Sinemore is a gorgeous shooter offering both story mode that we use an over-the-top tale of an arcade mode that provides deep, satisfying gameplay to challenge fans of the genre. So basically, this is a game that when you're playing it, the first thing that you're going to think is like, oh my god, that's so pretty. Or, oh my god, look at that boss. As a matter of fact, the first boss that you fight in this game is like this octopus-looking biomechanical octopus. And I spent more time looking at the octopus, so I died because obviously he hit me with his enemy fire. So the visuals in this game, at least to me, they can be a little bit distracting. So I say if you see this game, I just showed you guys it's $12 at GameStop. I say pick it up because I think this is going to be one of those games that in a couple of years it's going to be one of those really expensive games. I just feel it with this game, and I really don't want that to happen. So if you see it, spend the $10, $12 or whatever to pick it up. It's definitely worth your time.
Time capsule active. Let's go.
Okay guys, so this is my number 1 pick for cheap, affordable shooters for many platforms. And that game is Silpede for the PlayStation 2. Now, this game was originally released for the Sega CD, well, here in North America anyway. And it was an okay shooter. Definitely wasn't my favorite on the system, but this one's awesome. It was actually released by Working Designs, and it's got an awesome manual, and it's got the foil cover. So I picked this game up for $15, and I just checked eBay, and that's pretty much what it's going for. I mean, it was put out by Treasure and Working Designs. I mean, come on, $15? You tell me if it's worth $15.
So this game is so much better than the original Silpede that came out on the Sega CD. This one has much improved battle mechanics, it's got much improved graphics, visuals, sounds. I mean, everything about this game has had a complete overhaul. And this version for the PlayStation 2, which is actually a sequel to the original, is called Silpede: The Lost Planet. And it came out in 2000 as a shooter, and it's a direct sequel to the original Silpede, which was developed by Treasure and Game Arts and published in North America by Working Designs. The game is a vertically scrolling shooter in which the player controls the 019, a Silpede of the planet Solant's SA-77 squadron, as it takes on countless alien enemies. The player is allowed to equip 2 weapons on his Silpede at once, one on the right and one on the left, used with the circle and square buttons. Respectively though, both buttons can be fired simultaneously with the X button. Additional weapons are granted at the end of each level depending on point score. The game measures the player's closeness to an enemy at the time of its death, and multiplies the points earned anywhere 2 to 16 times. If the player has a collision with an enemy or the environment, no multipliers are awarded for several seconds. During localization, North American publisher Working Designs made changes to the game. Support for analog control and vibration functionality were added. The slowdown from the Japanese version was almost completely eliminated as well. The game's Western packaging also features a foil embossed reflective cover. So, like I said guys, I found this game for $15. I didn't find it that long ago, and it is totally worth it. I mean, come on, it's a Working Designs release for Christ's sakes. You can probably find this game locally if you have retro game stores in your area, as it wasn't really hard for me to find, and I'm telling you guys, there's a reason this is my number 1 pick. Definitely pick up this game.
Okay, so guys, these are 5 games that I think you should definitely own if you like shoot 'em ups, or shmups as they call them. Now, I hope this video helps you if you're an old collector and you like shooters and you're looking for something new to play that's not expensive. I hope this video helps you. If you're a new collector, or you're young, or you're in your 20s and you're just getting into shooters and you don't have a lot of money and you want to know what to get, I really hope this video helps you. Well guys, thanks for watching this video. These are all games that you can buy for relatively cheap, locally or online, and that's the most important thing, because if you're in the middle of Alaska and you don't have any other options than to buy online, you can buy all these games for relatively no money. So guys, I appreciate everyone that watched this video and has liked and subscribed to any of my videos in my channel. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and peace out.